Hello everybody, I'm Bruce Pettis with CageCraze.com. We're here at the south side of Indianapolis at the grand opening of the Integrated Fighting Academy. And to my right is none other than six-time UFC veteran, Matt Mitrione.
Hey.
Now Matt, I want to find out what conspired you to open up your own gym.
To be honest with you, man, I miss my children. I have 3 kids. They're all awesome, and I miss them. And I traveled so much to train because we had no place. You know, the best place we could get that never would close down was Chris Lytle's fire station. You know, and then they'd move the ambulance out and we'd go train. And I got kind of tired of that. So once I got to a certain point and financially I could afford it, we decided to open up a joint. And a good friend of mine named Shane Teeter owns a company called Street Made, and they were kind of looking to break into MMA, and they wanted to help me get as good as I could. So we all decided to partner up and jump on it.
Well, it's an awesome thing that you stepped up and put this gym on the south side of town, because there really is not a lot of available situations for people who want to train. And I understand that your gym is open to all ages.
It is open to all ages. We have kids wrestling, kids jiu-jitsu, kids boxing, and it's $50 a month for everybody. You know, I mean for the kids, for all those kids programs. You know, and if, this place isn't going to close. It's not going anywhere. You know, we got a really good lease. Our landlord is pretty generous with us, and you know, it's very manageable. So we don't have to worry about money going anywhere else except for just to the rent and then to utilities, and that's it. So we're in a good spot. This place is going to stay around for a long time, and I think that we have myself and Chris and Johnny, and Johnny's getting back to fighting. McCorkle's getting back to fighting. Jake's getting back to fighting. Shamar's getting back in the UFC pretty soon, and now we got some time where we'll be able to focus on ourselves and really trying to help develop and cultivate the talent around here. There's a ton of talent. There's 6 fighters in the UFC from Indianapolis. Most of them are from the south side. Right. And the fact that we can get in here and really make it work and help other people get to where we've gotten, that's not a bad thing.
Courtney, what transpired to cause you guys to open up your own gym?
Actually, it was Matt having to travel so much. All of his training camps, Matt's been in Milwaukee, Matt's been in Vegas, Florida, and just the lack of a big space where he can come in, bring people in, and train how he wants to with who he wants to was the big thing. You would ask us 6 months ago, 8 months ago if we were going to do this. There's no way. So then one day I get a call, hey, we're opening a gym. Here we are.
I'm standing here with 3-time UFC veteran, Big Sexy Sean McCorkle. Now, Sean, I remember when you came onto the scene, you just impressive. He was beating everybody they threw in front of him, made his way all the way to the UFC, and from what I understand, you sold yourself to the UFC. Is that correct?
Actually, I give all the credit to you, Bruce, for naming me Big Sexy. They weren't interested until I came up with that nickname, and then the calls started coming in immediately. No, I actually just created an online persona as a joke, being funny, saying outrageous things, and it caught on a lot faster than I thought. So I'm actually a dick in real life, too. So I just started being who I actually was, and no, it took off and worked out pretty well until I got beat up.
Well, I know I was at the first UFC that was here in Indianapolis, and I got to watch you beat your first opponent in the UFC. What was his name again?
Mark Hunt. He's kind of a big deal. He was before I beat him.
Definitely. Mark Hunt had fought a ton of big-name fighters, and Sean got him tapped out with an arm bar, which was very impressive. The place erupted in cheers. What do you got coming up in the future, Sean?
I am fighting at small shows, trying to get back in the UFC at least one more time. So I've got a fight in 3 weeks in West Virginia at the NAAFS. And then I'm fighting 2 weeks after that at 8 seconds at the LFC. Assuming I win those 2, that'll be 5 in a row outside the UFC, and then maybe Brett Rogers in April up in Minneapolis. And assuming I win all 6 of those, I can't imagine that they wouldn't bring me back.
Standing to my right is UFC veteran, 7-time veteran in the UFC, Irish Jake O'Brien. Jake, you're one of the first members, as well as I am, that were in the integrated fighting for what has been about 20 years or so.
Yeah, I started with Integrated when I was 18, so almost 10 years ago. It's the first place I started, and that's where we're still at, still the same guys, so it's nice.
You've had a really good run in the UFC. Looks like you're going to be making he's going to be making his MMA comeback in the year 2012, and I was just informed that you may be signed or getting ready to fight for a new fight venue that's also here in the state of Indiana for 2012, Indy MMA.
Yeah, I'm excited to be fighting back here. I haven't fought here in Indianapolis I don't even remember the last time I fought in Indianapolis. It's been a long time, so I heard they got a good show putting on, so I'm excited to be fighting back here again.
Yeah, I also have the privilege to be the ring announcer for the Indy MMA. Those fights are going to be shown live at the Blue Ribbon Pavilion at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Now, Jake, are you going to make a run back to the UFC, or is just your local shows just focusing on that right now?
No, I would definitely get back in the UFC. That's the reason I'm starting again. I wouldn't be doing it unless I wanted to get back there, you know. That's what it's all for, to fight there again, so, yep.
Now, you are also, this is your home gym. What do you think about this new gym that Matt Mitrione has opened in the name of the Integrated Fighting Academy?
It's turned out nice. This is definitely the nicest place we've had. As you know, over the years, we've been in a lot of different places. This is definitely the nicest one. So, yeah, it's close to where I'm from, so I love it.
Johnny, you've been a part of Integrated Fighting for quite some time. Tell me, how many years you've been with Integrated Fighting, and how do you feel about a new home?
I've been with Integrated now since 2005, since the beginning of my career. As far as our new home, I love the place, the location. As you can see today, we had a great turnout. You know, I really expect from, you know, in 2012, big things for our gym and for the state of Indiana. I truly believe this gym right here is going to catapult a lot of people's careers around here. And bring everyone to you know, the next level.
Chris is one of the very first to join Integrated Fighting several years ago. I was part of that team as well. I remember videotaping one of your workouts to send to Japan. Yeah. So it's good to be able to go back and know these guys as long as I have and still be affiliated with them. Now, Chris, the founder of the Integrated Fighting Academy, Jason Gotze, who was the very first fighter in the state of Indiana to ever fight in the UFC. He now resides in Hawaii, and he's teaching wrestling, teaching other things. He's got a guy he's getting ready to send to state championship. I spoke with Jason a couple days ago. He told me to let you know he's thinking about you and hopes everything goes good with your political career. And how do you feel about Integrated Fighting having an academy right here on the south side of town with this kind of backing?
You know, you've been there since the beginning, Bruce. You know, we were training in barns, we were training in basements, we were training in wrestling rooms when they would let us in. So we were kind of a nomadic tribe. We'd go over, they would accept us, and that was always nice. But, you know, just to have a place like this, it's pretty amazing. I know Jason had been happy to be, he'd be proud of what we're doing here. Yes. And you know, we're very fortunate to have probably the greatest teacher of all time to introduce me to the sport and help me grow not only as a fighter but as a person, as an instructor. Jason was the best, and he is the best. So hopefully we can carry on in his name. I look forward to him coming back sometime and hanging out and coming to the academy, and I'd like to do him proud.
Now, I know I've met a lot of fighters over the years, ones that we've trained with and ones that I just met for the first time. You by far, and I mean this, I'm not saying this as a friend, but you by far he is the most approachable fighter out there. People can come up to you, get an autograph, a picture, it doesn't matter. Even if you're sitting at dinner, this guy is one of the top, #1 first in his class, and that's why he is such a professional. So ladies and gentlemen, once again from the Integrated Fighting Academy from the south side of Indianapolis, 20-time UFC veteran, Chris Lights Out Lytle.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Thanks, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're standing here with one of the legends of the UFC. He's fought 4 times. He's a veteran, Miguel Torres. Now, sir, you got some fights coming up here soon. What's your next big appointment?
I'm looking to fight again on March 24th in Montreal.
In Montreal, that's up in Canada.
Actually, I might fight right now against this gorilla.
Step in here.
It's Miguel Torres, and he's one of the sexiest people I've ever met in my life. And look at his hair. Look at that. Look at that hair. That's beautiful. Look at his ears. Shit is so sexy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is 6-time UFC veteran and the owner of this gym, Matt Mitrione. This is a rarity to have these 2 iconic fighters from the UFC.
No. His name is not Matt Mitrione anymore. It's Big Sexy. Big Sexy Mitrione.
See, it's not McCorkle.
But Sean McCorkle is Big Sexy.
I commandeered that shit. It's mine now. Big Sexy Mitrione. And also, we're a sister gym with Miguel Torres MMA up in the region.
Why do you gotta say region for? You know it's the hood. You say the hood. It's in the hood.
It's the hood.
Hey, but now I got you guys here together.
When you show up there, bring a knife, because they're all dangerous.
Don't bring a knife. Bring a gun. A knife's not gonna do anything. Trust me.
But I got you both here together now. Miguel, you own your own gym. Are you guys going to be doing some cross-training, helping each other out in the future?
We cross-dresses, so it's easy to turn to a cross-trainer when he's already cross-dressing.
I let him borrow my pumps. I could borrow his skirts. You know, it goes back and forth.
Who has the thong?
We both do, but they're really comfortable.
I don't wear thongs. Sorry, I don't wear underwear.
Here, ladies, you just heard that.
That's amateur.
Miguel doesn't wear underwear.
Amateur hour.
Slipperella, stop drooling.
But hey, let's be honest. Out of all these guys standing here, me and these two awesome fighters, who has the best hair?
Bruce, man.
Wait. You got to compare my mullet to his back hair. His back hair wins 100%.
It looks really good.
Now, Matt is right now standing on the stool that they brought for me so I could be as tall as these fighters, but as you can see, he's standing on the stool now, still in my glory. Yeah, this is how I look. See how short I am? It's ridiculous. I may not be one of the tallest fighters in Indiana, but
Ask him his record. Ask him his record, Miguel Torres.
He told me his record already, 402.
No, I have an undefeated 80-0 bare knuckle record. I've never claimed to be a cage fighter. Not once have I claimed to be a cage fighter. I don't want anybody to get that mistaken.
Him or Mel Kiper?
Him.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has got to be one of the most awkward and most awesome interviews I've ever done for CageCraze.com.
You want it to get awkward?
What separates this gym from other gyms that are locally in the area?
Well, we're much sexier. Much sexier. Most of us shave our bodies. That separates us because you don't get all that unsightly hair in your mouth. That's uncomfortable. But honestly, we have 1,600 square feet of mat space, and I think that's, first of all, it's probably the biggest in all of Indianapolis area. Probably Central Indiana, maybe even the state of Indiana. I don't know. On top of that, we have instead of going 1.5 inches and 2 inches worth of mats, we have 4 inches of mats. So it's much more comfortable work on. Your joints don't ache nearly as much. When we do judo throws, wrestling, MMA, and you get taken down or whatever, your body doesn't ache. You don't really have to be worried about separating your shoulders, jamming your joints up, stuff like that. Second is that it's not a fighting gym. It's a gym that we do MMA in, of course, but it's a place of learning. And I'm excited about that. We have a lot of points where I think where a lot of other coaches kind of left things behind. We didn't. And for example, I think we have a good gym in here. We have a lot of detail in here. But for example, when a lot of people do kids programs, like kids wrestling, kids jiu-jitsu, whatever, the parents have to sit around and wait. We actually have a program now where the kids and the parents split time. Where the kids are doing their kid program and the parents are doing a cross-training program at the same time. So mom and dad and the kids can get in from 6 to 7, get a workout in, all of them can, and then take their butts home and be home in the house by 7:30, dinner on the table by 8 o'clock.
That's great. What kind of hours are you offering to everybody?
We have a morning program, morning Zumba. Then we have our pro classes are from 12 to 3 every day. And then, the classes kind of change, but I think most of our classes start at about 5 o'clock and then go to about 10:30 at night. We have open gym every night too. So we have MMA class or adult classes from 8 to 10, then open gym. And we have a myriad of classes in between there. I did say a myriad. I'm a Purdue University graduate. We have vocabulary there. It's not like I'm from IU where we say ain't and we don't do none of that.
See? Well, education is a huge factor, but I have noticed since I've been in here, I've noticed there's several UFC fighters, and I also saw a few pro football players.
Yeah.
And for the folks out there that may not know, Matt not only played college ball for Purdue, he went on to have a decent NFL career.
Yeah.
And you can check him out. He played for the Minnesota Vikings.
I played for the New York Giants, the San Francisco 49ers, and finished up with the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes. So check him out. If you Google Matt Mitrione, look at some of his football stats. And
handsome man. Except for my NFL days, I was pretty fat back then. And I had a bad haircut. And a really serious double chin. But I had really good teeth.
Now, see, I saw this picture of you when you were playing for the Vikings and your hair was long. Man, it looked good.
And I didn't even smoke pot.
No
I did
way.
no drugs.
None
no
whatsoever.
drugs. None. I was just a long hair, like Samson.
But he looked awesome. He looked awesome.
I should have cut into a mullet. Miguel would have been jealous.
Now we got the Super Bowl coming into town.
Yeah.
Are you going to get any?
Going on with the NFLPA, man. All active, current active, and NFL alumni get a free pass here during the entire week. So they can come here and do workouts, learn a little bit about MMA, do some jiu-jitsu, do some grappling. Hopefully they'll find a new passion in it. So actually, this place should be swimming with NFL guys.
Well, one other question I have to ask you, and everybody told me that this probably shouldn't ask you, but I have to. You've been in the UFC 6 times.
Yeah.
You've been victorious 5 times. Unfortunately, that last fight
Yeah.
It went the distance.
It was boring. It sucked. It was brutal.
And the judges, and any time the judges have control of the decision, you know, it's up in the air. How do you feel about your performance of that fight?
I feel that I wish I could have that fight back. There were some things that happened in that fight that I had never addressed. I never had to practice on because I never had that situation. I never fought anybody that wasn't game, that didn't want to come out and compete, whether it's just brawling in the middle of a cage or grappling. Either one of those two I've always been in some kind of a fight. And in that fight, Czech didn't want to trade off, and he didn't want to do anything except for fight when he was up against the wall, you know. And I had never addressed that kind of a scenario before, but now I've addressed it with Chris, my mentor, Chris Lytle. I've addressed it with Chris, and I know how to fight a person like that now. And I can tell you that fight will never happen again.
No, I don't think it will either. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, man, my hat is off to you for revamping integrative fighting. The system has been around for quite some time. Right. The founder of integrative fighting was none other than the first UFC fighter out of state of Indiana, Jason Godsey.
I actually called Jason Godsey and got his permission to name this place Integrated Fighting.
That's awesome.
And he's like, he gave me some ground rules, and as long as you don't vary from these 5 rules, then I'd be proud to have it named Integrated. I was absolutely Integrated Fighting Academy. That's where we came from. That's where Chris came from, and that's my homage to them.
That's awesome. Well, thanks again for the interview, Matt. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, from the grand opening of the Integrated Fighting Academy, I'm Bruce Pettis for CageCraze.com.